So I was asked, does it ever end? And it's this journey, discovering oneself, understanding. And the answer is yes and no. Because it's expectations. Our expectations stop our growth. Because it's supposed to happen this way, this way, and this way, and this way. Otherwise, it's not happening, right? Or like, I want to use the example of when I was a kid. I would daydream and picture my life. And I was going to get married, buy a house, have kids. And it was just beautiful in my head. My expectation. I got married, found myself in the middle of a divorce and pregnant. So therefore, I was a single parent. That was not what I was looking for. But you know, through that time in my life, it started molding and shaping who I was. I started discovering more strength in myself. I started discovering I can do it on my own. I discovered so much about myself that if I got a chance to go back, I wouldn't change it. Because it made me who I am. It gave me strength. It gave me knowledge. And that part of my life was really up and down. And it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But I'm still here. I still conquered it. And society, or the world, tells us you get married, you grow up, you buy a house, everything's great. I'd call it the white picket fence dream. And that's not how it goes. Everybody lives life differently. Everybody has different expectations. Everybody learns a different way. So when you ask the question, does it ever end? What I've discovered on my journey is when I drop the expectations of what other people have said, and my thought form or daydream would come up of what that looked like, I grew faster. I received more clarity, more understanding. And what it was letting go. And I hated hearing that. I hated hearing letting go. Because how do you do that? Because I'm a schedule person. I want to know. And you can't. You can't. There's some stuff that people can tell you about their journey, their story, and you can relate to it a little bit. But it's never exactly. So does it ever end? You find your flow. You find your flow and your connection by questioning your thoughts, understanding what's coming and going, reading the energy within you and around you, feeling your emotions. As you start discovering and learning energy, how you translate it or how you read it, you find your flow. And it becomes easier, simpler. But it also comes with other challenges. So if you're saying, does it ever end, like the challenges? No. Because then you're not growing if you don't have challenges. But even as a kid, when I grew up, I still grew. Even though it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to, I started forming and creating the person that I am. Unraveling. What do I prefer? What do I not prefer? What's me? What is me? What isn't me? How do I feel? And that's why I always say these are things that we were never taught as children, is to be the observer of your life. Understand your consequences of every choice you make. Even if it's a good choice or a bad choice, there's a consequence. And that's how you start really unraveling who you are and discovering who you are. So does it ever end? Yes and no. But really it comes down to, what's your expectation? What are you expecting? And once you drop that, you start flowing with it. Because no one can tell you this is exactly what spirit is. This is exactly what your higher self is. You only know that. But you start getting it little bit by little bit as you do your inner work. It's an inside job. It's you being the observer and consciously knowing what to do when. What am I feeling? What do I do with it? What are these thoughts? Are they mine? Are they not mine? Is it trapped energy? It's really, that's what inner work is. And when you start figuring that out and not having an expectation, you're just flowing with it and it gets easier. But like, again, I want to say again, you're going to have other things come up. As you grow energetically, you start interacting with other energies, more advanced energies as you become more advanced. So you're always growing and changing. But it's not hard. It's not difficult. It just takes effort. And what I would always say is, I'm not going to give up on myself. Because I'm waking up every day. Every day I woke up, I was going to conquer the day. I was going to conquer myself and figure this out. Otherwise, you live in a life of pain because you're holding yourself back and avoiding. So this is not an easy task, but it's not hard either. And does it ever end? Where are you going with the question? Because to me, it sounds like an expectation.